This is going to be a spoiler-filled episode 9 and 10 review of The Day of the Jackal. And this is one of the best shows of 2024, and it's probably in my top 3. Now, what a way these final 2 episodes are. The Jackal returns to Croatia to observe the security arrangements that UDC has planned in order to release River. Of course, he still wants to release it even though there was an attempt on his life. Xena confronts him about his failures in Talon and says he's got it, he's figured it out. He returns to Spain and is confronted by his wife Nuria, who is a back and forth tit for tat. He admits he is an assassin, and she's like, okay, can you say it out loud? The thing about Nuria is that the female characters on this show aren't really well developed as I think and I want them to be. She's just there. You have this whole lavish lifestyle you're living because of him, because he's doing these jobs, but then you don't want him to do all that, which is really interesting. He promises to quit after the UDC hit. Alvaro, kind of in a way, her brother, Nuria's brother, sets up a meeting with Jimmy, who is a Cuban, and kind of tells Duggan that, listen, meet here, this time, that time, this time. Well, while the brother Alvaro is meeting with Jimmy, Jimmy gets shot in the back of the head by the Jackal from however many yards away off the coast in a boat. And kind of in a way, Nuria panics, gives Jimmy kind of a reputation or a brutal kind of saying, like, you're just like, Dad, get away from my life, don't worry about me. The Jackal finally shoots, like I said, Jimmy from a long distance, and in a way, Kirby ends up the MI6 investigation under orders from Whitelock, who secretly works with Winthorpe. Yes, the Foreign Secretary of Defense is working with Winthorpe. Charles Dance, the actor who played in Game of Thrones and Last Action Hero. Halcrow, even though, still is suspicious. We then see, after kind of reconcile with Paul, Bianca kind of curiosity is piqued, and she goes in to Isabel and tells that, listen, hey, I'm done, that's it, I quit, yada yada yada, whatever. But then her interest is piqued again when she finds out that Jimmy was shot in Spain by a precision person, and it's like, oh, okay. Then the Jackal travels to Croatia, positioning himself on a boat, and just the way he sets up his shot, the gimbal, the wind, amounting for the waves on the boat, it's like, okay, he's very smart, and everything is happening around him, but he stays so calm. He kind of figures everything out, and just the way he's waiting and waiting. Now, when he shoots, you're like, why did he shoot so early? Well, he's close to 2 to 2.5 miles out off the coast, near the island where UDC is. Well, as UDC is swimming and he gets underway, the Jackal kills his security detail, one by one in a way, and then shoots him dead before fleeing the area. That was episode 9. And it's like, whoa, okay, hold on, back up. What else can happen? Well, with UDC dead now, we're going now, this is the review for episode 10. This is a joint review, remember that. With UDC dead and River halted, we see Bianca kind of quit, like I said, at MI6. However, she's lured back by Kirby to assassinate and get rid of the Jackal. And do it under, under rogue conditions and that. And Kirby is acting under orders from Whitelock as the conspirators who want to tie up loose ends. And it's like, oh, okay, so there are so many targets now. And the Jackal sustains several wounds for escaping the UDC's assassination. And then while hijacking multiple vehicles during and attempting to leave Croatia. He gets in an accident because he steps on the brakes. Car goes over a cliff, blows up, takes a guy's truck. He gets rid of that, comes into a kind of area where 2 elderly people are, camping. He gets them to take him to the Montenegro border, and then sadly he kills them because of what happened with them defending themselves. And it's kind of sad to see, which he is forced to kill them and to cover their tracks. They attempt to overpower him. He shoots the elderly man twice, then shoots the woman once, blows up the car, and then Bianca is convinced to go back in and go rogue. And then she takes Vince, now acting without official cover, to stake out the Jackal's estate now. And we see Nuria abandons the house with her son, Carlito, and she realizes they are no longer safe with her husband. She goes into his panic room, whatever you want to call it, takes money, packs the bags, calls a taxi, and leaves. She starts crying. Of course, she wants to be that, powerful woman, not cry in front of her kid. And then the Jackal returns home and then finds that, that his wife is gone. And it's like, okay, they're missing. And it's like, okay. So then slowly, in the cover of darkness, Bianca and Vince enter the house and basically kill the brother, Alvaro, because he startled them. And, boom, one person's dead. So the brother's out of the picture. The Jackal, in an attempt, you see he's gets brought out of the panic room by the fire alarm in the house going off. You then see a red dot go on Bianca. And then in order, Vince jumps in front of Bianca. Jackal takes the shot, kills Vince. Bianca and the Jackal have a talk. It's like, why do you do this, this and that? Bianca's like, I always like to win. And there's a standoff with Bianca and the Jackal. The Jackal kills Vince, like I said. And then following a standoff with Bianca, he kills Bianca. Just shoots her dead. And she's dead. Unless he shot her in the chest with the bulletproof vest. I don't know. But then the Jackal is attacked by Winthrop's men. And it's like, oh, okay, so that happened, and then we don't know what else. Then we see Hal Crow meeting with Kirby, or Isabel, whatever her name is, I believe, and she's promoted to chief. But then we see Hal Crow is aware of her kind of double life she's giving, thanks to a final message we see on Hal Crow's phone that says, if I'm going to go after the Jackal, if I'm missing, if Bianca sent me, you know what happened. And then we see in Budapest, where a wounded Jackal meets with Xena, who basically also escaped the attempt on her life. Now they're working together. She reveals who Winthrop is on the newspaper, and the Jackal agrees to get revenge, but then heads off in search of his wife and son. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first season of The Jackal. He just walks into the crowd and then disappears. Phenomenal fucking series. I mean, mind blown. Each episode was just high octane craziness. I will say it was better than the book. It was better than the original movie. And it was better than the American remake with Richard Gere and Bruce Willis. Even though each story had a different outcome and aspect to it, we saw what this was about. Even though this was more to the book, I'm very curious to see how season 2 is going to be, because what more can you do? You can do so much of the book, but then you have to come up with original stories. Okay, he's going after Winthrop. All right, he has to find his wife and son. Okay, how will Xena play involved? Hal Crow still has to go after Kirby, even though we know what Kirby is involved in with now. How will Hal Crow avenge the death of Bianca? Who will be the next main lead to go after the Jackal? Or will Jackal now be an anti-hero? So many things happening, and season 2 could probably be, by word of mouth, the biggest ever for a series in its second season. By word of mouth, this series will gain popularity. And I'm telling you now, if you haven't seen it, check it out. All episodes are now streaming on Peacock. This is a Peacock original series. And Eddie Redmayne is getting rave reviews for his performance for a Golden Globe nomination and even a Critics' Choice. Even this series is nominated for Best Drama for Golden Globes and a Critics' Choice. So the only thing I didn't like was the Bianca character. Very pushy, very straightforward. It's like, just take a step back, and then when you realize the other characters in this show are also like, all right, you need to stop. You're obsessed with this. Her obsession got her killed, plain and simple. If I see season 2, episode 1 start off with her laying in bed, her eyes open up, I'm going to go crazy. I'm like, all right, I guess you had to write her in to be another main character, but she looked dead. She was dead. Okay, so, I mean, unless they do something differently. Nuria, the wife, okay, she's living this lavish lifestyle. He's making $10-20 million a hit, and then she's questioning him why he's doing it. Well, sometimes secret identities need to be secret for a reason, and a husband doesn't need to tell you everything because he needs to keep secrets to himself in order to keep you safe. You want money? I'm pretty sure if someone out there was doing what the Jackal does, making all this money, living in a mansion off the coast of Spain, the woman, the wife, wouldn't be asking questions. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. Eddie Redmayne as the Jackal, great. A lot of supporting characters in this that were really good. The design, the sets, the locations, phenomenal. This is a show you need to watch if you are a fan of British television series, espionage series. I mean, it's like, wow. Okay, each episode is between, I want to say, between 40 to 56 to an hour minute long. It's simple, it's to the point, and it's like, okay, where will the Jackal get things now? You know, because we know certain people he's talked to, they're dead. There was a lot of prices to pay. Bianca had death on her hands, as did the Jackal, but the Jackal did it as a job. Bianca just, she didn't even know what the hell was going on because she was so obsessed with things. This was a great show from start to finish. Eddie Redmayne in an action series, phenomenal. Lashana Lynch as an actress is fantastic, but as Bianca, not convincing at all. But other than that, if you like a show where you're trying to figure out left and right what's going to happen, whoa, like you want to keep watching, this is a show you can binge watch right now on Peacock, as all episodes are now streaming. Don't know when season 2 is going to come out. Hopefully in 2025 or 2026. We'll just have to wait and see. And will it be original? Who will be the villain? Where will the locations be? A lot of questions that need to be answered. For me, The Day of the Jackal gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The Day of the Jackal starring Eddie Redmayne and Lashana Lynch. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story being based on the novel of the same name? Out of the series with Eddie Redmayne and the book and the original film and the remake, which of those do you like best? And what do you think now will happen in season 2? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning into my weekly reviews of The Day of the Jackal, and I'll see you all in the next review video, and I'll see you all for season 2.